This is Midweek Politics with Dave Pakman.
Hey, welcome back to Midweek Politics. I'm David Pakman. Joining us in studio is Abbie Goldberg, professor of psychology at Clark University and a renowned expert in the area of lesbian and gay parenting. She's also the author of Lesbian and Gay Parents, Research on the Family Life Cycle. And joining us on the phone is Tom McClusky, Vice President of Government Affairs for the Family Research Council. Can you hear me okay, Tom?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So last week we learned that Prop 8 was overturned in California by Judge Vaughn Walker. Tom, were you thrilled with this decision or just very happy?
Well, actually neither.
Neither.
We thought that the opinion of this one judge should not overrule the votes of over 7 million California citizens.
Mm-hmm. Well, so Abbie, let me go to you. That argument that Tom is making has been made a number of times, which is the will of the people has been overturned. The counter argument, which I've taken to heart because it seems to make sense to me, is when we're talking about cases of basic civil rights being violated, you can't just put that up to a vote, right? I mean, that's why we have an independent judiciary to decide, if this is a vote that would violate the Bill of Rights, for example, we can't just put that to a vote. Where do you come down on that?
Yeah, I mean, I would concur with that the issue of equal rights of civil liberties should not be something that should be left up to, popular vote, but it's rather something that should rest on principle. And, in my opinion, it shouldn't even rest on research. We shouldn't have to prove that a class of people is as good as another class of people in order for them to have a right that should be granted to them automatically.
So, Tom, as part of the Family Research Council, with which you are a VP of Government Affairs for, is the objection just the so-called legal objection, which you just stated, or do you have a moral problem with gay marriage as well?
Well, there's certainly the moral problem, and a lot of that goes into the research that has shown that children are best in an environment with a mother and a father, something this judge completely just threw out.
In what sense did he throw that out?
Well, he didn't even include it and dismissed it in his judgment, in his ruling.
So you're saying that there is evidence which suggests that that kids do better when they are in a home with a male and a female parent as opposed to a gay couple. Is that right?
Well, the evidence is overwhelming. Just recently, there was even a study by Yale University that supports that belief.
And Abbie, are there those studies? What do the studies say? This is really your area of expertise.
Yeah. The body of research that, for example, the proponents of Prop 8 have relied on is a body of research that compares married, heterosexual, two-parent families and their children to single-parent families and divorced parent families. And those studies often find that children with two married, heterosexual parents do better in terms of various psychosocial outcomes compared to children of single parents and divorced parents. But there is no study that compares married heterosexual parents with children to married same-sex couples with children. So that's a big leap that I think some of these proponents are making, that can automatically be extended to same-sex couples as well. And the research that we do have that compares heterosexual married same-sex couples with children to not married but same-sex couples with children shows that these children are doing just fine emotionally and behaviorally. They don't differ in any sort of psychosocial outcome from the children of straight parents.
So when you hear, go ahead, Tom.
Those studies, though, are extremely biased. They've been thrown out. I mean, the most recent one, it didn't even have a control group. It was just a matter of asking lesbian parents, do you think you're a good parent or not?
Which study is that?
It was the most recent study, and I'm afraid I do not have it in front of me, except most of these studies have, that's the simple fact is that there are so few.
Well, the study I think you're referring to is a study that was done at University of California, San Francisco, got a lot of press. I think that's the one you're referring to. It's the longitudinal national, lesbian parent study. In fact, that study and several recent studies, you're saying that it just relied on parents' report, but it also relied on teacher reports. So teachers are a great way to provide some independent, objective data to kind of ascertain whether these children are doing well. And those teachers' reports were included in that report. And those teachers' reports showed that these children, again, did not differ in terms of behavioral or emotional outcomes from children of heterosexual parents.
So, Tom, is that the poll you're referring to? Do we just not know what poll it is you're referring to?
I do believe that was the one, and it's still just showing with no control group and simply asking then teachers or friends of these families is not a scientific poll to make.
What about it is unscientific?
You have no control group. You have no. You're not comparing it to other families, and you're talking about a very small percentage of. Well, the whole population itself is a very small percentage of homosexuals, and an even smaller population that decides to even enter civil unions or marriage or anything like that.
But Tom, because it's a small percentage, does that mean any study about it would just be inaccurate because there's not that many people to study it? That could go both ways, could it not?
Well, and this goes beyond any study as well. The right to marry is granted by the U.S. Constitution, but not the right to define marriage. And in essence, that is what is being asked here, and that is what Judge Walker tried to do.
Okay, let me, in the interest of not getting bogged down here, to me, I happen to believe that homosexuality is not a choice. Where does Family Research Council come down on that, Tom?
Well, the evidence is inconclusive on either side. So right now it's just down to personal opinion.
And what's yours?
My personal opinion is that it's inconclusive. I'm not going to answer a question yes or no when all the facts are not known.
And should that make a difference in terms of a ruling like this?
I wouldn't see why it would.
Abbie?
You mean should the matter of whether it's a choice or not a choice have any?
Does that have any legal bearing? Should it play into any of these discussions?
Should. No, I think it's completely irrelevant. Again, I really feel that these kinds of decisions should be made on, whether it's a choice or not. And there's a lot of research showing that it's not a choice, but whether it's a choice or not is irrelevant. Again, to granting certain rights that human beings should have automatically. That's what this case was all about.
Midweek Politics is made possible in part by CSR Wire, the corporate social responsibility newswire at csrwire.com, by DIF Design, specializing in custom business websites at difdesign.com. To find out more about underwriting Midweek Politics, visit midweekpolitics.com.